The irony of this one strikes me, and I feel like this is a place to go into. And tomorrow I would like to do the Herschel Walker press conference that he had, the whole thing. Deborah Downer, that's who it was. You're right. Ladies and gentlemen, when it comes to the story of Hunter Biden's laptop and the Biden crème family, the cremes, where they engaged in the fruits of crème. There's no better person, I think, to operate as a moral standard in this case than former Fox News host and best buddy to Dennis Miller and Donald Trump, Bill, I paid $32 million to keep a woman quiet about what I did to her, O'Reilly. And the title of this one, what made it stand out, Bill O'Reilly, Hunters on a Slippery Slope. Hunter is. This is on Newsmax. What show is this? Do we know? I don't even know what fuck. Oh, it's on Rob Shit tonight. Okay. So Rob Shit show has on Bill O'Reilly. Again, think of all the pay someone off so you don't get in trouble scandals that in your mind. Think of them. Anyone that comes to mind where somebody's paid somebody to keep quiet. What's the price tag in line with the behavior itself? And in the case of Bill O'Reilly, dude paid a woman $32 million to keep quiet about years of sexual abuse. Now, ongoing sexual abuse cases, there is already a preconceived notion that society at large will say, well, I mean, you could have gotten out at any time. Aren't you part and parcel to this whole thing? Maybe it was just a disgruntled relationship, which would, while not exonerating the other person in this situation, might lower the payday, let's just say. It would bring it into the $3 to $5 million range when it comes to rich people. But this motherfucker paid $32 million to keep this woman quiet. Imagine that number going up by millions, and you know you have to pay it. Imagine having to pay off, worst relationship you've ever had in your life, and you're like, okay, they're gonna attack me at work for this, but $32 million fucking dollars. This dude had to pay one woman, not 8 women, and over the years, and there's others. One woman, $32 million. And this guy is going to moralize for us about Hunter Biden. Now, that said, I think at the beginning of this, he doesn't even know where he is.
All right, Bill O'Reilly joins us tonight. Sir, it's good to have you back on the show. Talking energy here.
He doesn't feel the same way. This is, you have to understand, Rob, you're on the way up, he's on the way down, and both of you are on a low hump.
The political party that's created an entire platform.
Why are you staring at the picture? He's not really there.
Around ending fossil.
Now why are you looking at me? I'm not Bill O'Reilly. Is this the hypnotism that's happening? Oh my, dear God. I'm starting to turn. Do you feel yourself turning into Bill O'Reilly as he stares at you?
Fuels is now preparing to punish OPEC for not pumping enough oil. And I just find that to be incredible.
Run that by me again.
OPEC for not pumping. Ending fossil fuels is now preparing to punish OPEC for not pumping enough oil. And I just find that to be incredible. I want to get your thoughts.
What are they going to do to OPEC?
What are they going to do to OPEC? They don't need us, right? What are we going to do? It's not like the American people. There's a shift in the zeitgeist where people are getting away from gas guzzling cars. I mean, you can just look at the American South, and OPEC knows it has nothing to fear as far as oil usage.
Can't do anything to OPEC. OPEC is, they want something. Saudi Arabia wants something, and the other countries from the USA, probably money. And
Probably.
if they don't get it, they'll cut their production. If they do get it, then 2 weeks you'll see they ramp up production again. That's what they always do. So
Right.
I don't know how the Biden
I don't know. This just happens all the time.
administration could punish them. What are they going to do?
Right. So it's not the president's fault, and this is just something they do because they're shitty. That's not what Rob wanted to hear. Bill, you are too old for Rob Schmitt. He's new to this stuff. He thinks OPEC was an alliance that formed in January of 2021.
Well, they want to cut the defenses, U.S. defenses of those nations. Defenses we send to Saudi Arabia. They want to end that, is what this group of Democrats is pushing. To me, it's just a hysteria.
Which, how do you feel? How do you feel about that? I'm okay.
Of seeing people that tell you that the world's going to end if we don't get rid of fossil fuels, and then OPEC cuts production of fossil fuels, and they get threatened for it. I mean, it just shows just how nothing makes any sense.
5 million barrels a day have been removed from the world supply because of Russia. They're cutting 2. That would be 7 million barrels. That's what this asshole doesn't understand, the concept of even net zero, or the idea that you have standards to reach a certain point so that you can maintain quality of life as you transition into other stuff. What the Saudis are trying to do is what they tried to do when the shale oil revolution happened in the United States, is try to crater the market.
Well, the Biden administration is beyond incompetent. I think everybody understands that at this
Yeah, sure. I mean, you know it. I mean, if they were competent, they would have just paid her off and told her to shut the oh, wait, I'm sorry. It's a different story.
point. Well, the Biden administration is beyond incompetent. I think everybody understands that at this point. But U.S. can't cut arms shipments to Saudi Arabia because they're the bulwark against Iran.
Yeah, this is not helping Rob shit.
Yeah, so all of this is just posturing. It's just blowing smoke.
By who?
The Arabs always try to squeeze the USA.
Yeah, it's almost as if we should get out of the fossil fuel business, only use it for trucks and airplanes, and as maybe a fuel source for some like energy facilities until we can transition away from it and get our commuter cars off it entirely, so that the price can crater, so that those guys have to go back to selling dates and rugs and participating in the rest of the world like the rest of us do, instead of as kings who were born on top of goo they can sell.
Going on for, what, 70, 80
Right.
years. But the Biden administration, the windmill thing didn't work. The
windmill thing didn't work.
electric car thing didn't work.
It didn't. Yeah, we don't do electric cars anymore. That fell apart. You know who really spotted that? Elon Musk. You know what I mean? That's why the right hates him right now. Yeah, because he was like, one thing he said, first principles. Yeah, electric cars, fucked. It's a stupid industry. Don't even bother.
They shut down a fossil fuel industry, or
They shut down.
tried to in the USA. It led to inflation. Now it's leading to this.
And then the other thing, and then no.
So
Biden's incompetence on full display is the phrase right here. I don't know. I mean, every time you turn around, the fucking Middle East is fucking with us with oil prices. But, you know, we don't blame Republican presidents when it happens. We blame Democrats, and it's the shtick. I'm here doing the shtick. God damn it, why you?
you know, we got to put up with this guy for another 2 years. But
Yeah.
I hope in the midterms that people say enough, enough, enough.
Enough, 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 and really get in there and do what exactly?
Yeah. What message do you think the Saudis are sending by promoting this price hike, cutting production? A lot of people are talking about Iran, their frustration that the Biden administration is working toward giving a deal that's going to pump billions into Iran. The Saudis obviously.
Yeah, the Iranians that actually still have most of their oil.
Obviously hate Iran. Does it have something to do with that?
They were always annoying. You know, Biden goes over there. Obviously didn't get anything done, did he? No.
Well, they increased output for a while, and then they dropped output. They don't have it.
Trump dealt with him pretty well.
Yeah, he went over there. He danced with a little sword. He held the globe.
The Saudis, I mean, they knew if they did stuff like this, embarrassing the U.S. or making it more difficulty, that Trump would find a way to hurt them.
No, he didn't. The fucking Saudis and the Russians were engaged in a game of chicken, driving the price down because they were trying to undercut the U.S. shale revolution. They wanted oil to go so low that it was better to just go with straight petroleum worldwide instead of, it was basically to take away all the export, the exploration money away from American shale oil. Didn't work.
But nobody's afraid of Joe Biden. But if you're asking me to analyze the kingdom,
yeah, Putin's not afraid of Joe Biden. He's not. Yeah.
Of Saudi Arabia, I would say, don't ever go there.
That's what you'd say? Hold on.
The Kingdom of Saudi Arabia, I would say, don't ever go there. That's pretty much the extent of my expertise.
Yeah.
Look, he has no fucking idea. What would you say to the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia? Don't go there, girl. Talk to the hand, sister. Okay? That's what I'd say. And then I don't know what would happen. Probably the same thing. I mean, it happens all the time. It's been happening for 70 years. Am I right? Rob, I am not drunk enough for this show. I'm not. This is bottom of the barrel. The only thing that makes me feel better about being on your show is that I'm not on Flashpoint.
Absolutely. I want to get your...
Absolutely. Yes, absolutely. This is the end of your expertise. I couldn't agree more. You've run out of thoughts.
Thoughts on this? You know, the breaking news from today that the Washington Post reporting the federal agents think that they have enough evidence to charge Hunter Biden with a tax charge and for lying on the gun permit, not, you know, indicating that he had a drug problem. You see how obviously what they're showing is that the charges that they're going to go after Hunter with have nothing to do with what he and his father and his father's brother have been up to for all of these years, selling.
Yeah, because there isn't any
access to American politics and all the...
How? Again, Jesus Christ. What is China getting out of this deal?
The money that they've raised. They have these...
So Russia, as soon as Biden comes in, Russia's got its suite and China's never been in a better position. What the fuck?
2 charges. What are your thoughts on that?
Well, it's a Trump prosecutor in Delaware.
Yeah.
So it's probably just going after him just to run cover for Trump, I think. Am I not supposed to be saying this? Whew, that is some strong bourbon.
I don't think the fix is in, but it really doesn't matter because if Hunter Biden's charged, even on these low-level charges, it's going to embarrass his father. And then when...
He was a crack addict. There are pictures of him smoking in a bathtub and allegedly palling around with hookers and dressed with a scarf around his neck and his underwear. It's not going to embarrass him. Who gives a shit? He's going to go, son, pay your fucking taxes. What are you, Trump?
Republicans win the House, which they should.
Yeah, but they won't.
There'll be all kinds of investigations into Hunter and then Vice President Joe.
Vice President Joe? President Joe, first of all, fucko. And secondly, they've already done it.
So it'll be like the January 6th committee. They'll dissolve that and they'll bring in the Hunter Biden committee. These are the Republicans in charge now.
And waste everyone's fucking time.
And so there'll be...
Spend taxpayer money for weeks on end to try and convince the American people that Biden's behavior towards China, his protection of Taiwan, the formation of the AUKUS agreement, giving nuclear sub-technology to Australia to counter against them, forming a trade cooperative with Southeast Asian countries as a bulwark against Chinese expansionism, growing ties with Japan, and then supplying arms to Ukraine to push back against Russia, that somehow Russia and China bought influence from Biden while he was out of office, when nobody expected him to run again, and many people didn't expect him to win, except, you know, me. That was money well spent, because ultimately, what did they get? What did they get? We're moving all the chips factories here. We're even letting the Taiwanese company put their factory here in case China attacks Taiwan. They still have a financial base to work from.
That kind of investigation going on. So none of this is good news for Joe Biden.
Yeah, I'm sure he'll, between yawns.
He knows it. But I don't see it as political because the prosecutor in Delaware was appointed by Donald Trump.
I don't see it as political because the prosecutor in Delaware was appointed by Donald Trump. Yeah, you're right. That sentence is exactly backwards.
Do you think that this goes anywhere? I mean, obviously, if it goes beyond what we have here with these small charges, obviously Biden can make these go away in 2 seconds.
Totally.
If there is a conviction. But do you see it going anywhere past that? Republicans get it back. They investigate all of this corruption. Where do you think that actually goes?
Sure. I mean, if the House committee is investigating the Hunter Biden, Joe Biden financial situation, come across documents that show that Joe Biden himself received money.
Yeah, because it's really the reality is that nobody's had access to these alleged documents this entire time and been able to act on. They would need a congressional committee to look into this.
Yeah.
That's impeachment. That's impeachment.
Yeah.
He's done. He's out.
He's done.
Well, see, it seems like they're going to get that from what we've learned from Senator Johnson, what he released before the election, and what we've heard from Tony Bobulinski. It seems like that information is there to be found.
No. If it's there to be found, why isn't Tony Bobulinski showing it to you? The fuck are you guys talking about?
If somebody actually wants to look at it. I finally just want to ask about your new book. It's called
Yeah, it's the only reason you're here, and it starts with killing someone famous.
Killing the Legends, the Lethal Danger of Celebrity. Tell us.
Killing the Legends, the Lethal Danger of Celebrity. So he couldn't pick one. So it's John Lennon, Elvis, and Muhammad Ali. He writes all these killing books. Killing Jesus, killing Martin Luther King.
Tell us more about the book.
Killing Lee Greenwood's career.
Well, this is Cultural History, the first one. It's a 12th killing book, the most successful nonfiction book series in history.
Because, and by the way, that's not even fucking close to true. That's why he licked his lips and looked down when he's saying it.
And there
in the publisher's history, maybe.
3 men who influenced, Rob, the way we live today.
Yeah, in houses with the electric lights. And oftentimes, sometimes wearing hats, other times deciding against it.
And people don't know that.
They don't know John Lennon. Who's Elvis? Who's this Muhammad Ali character? People don't know that these guys had a cultural impact on us. They might be surprised at how often, they run into things that are directly from these guys. Most Americans don't know where a peanut butter and banana sandwich came from. What a lie-in actually was for. That it's not something that Bill O'Reilly does, but just a sit-in, but you're lying in bed, because it's easy to do. And of course, the phrase "the greatest" that Trump uses on himself, that you'd be surprised about the roots.
Elvis, John Lennon, Muhammad Ali.
Muhammad?
Just a quick primer.
Yeah, just break it down for us. I'm not familiar with these guys, so bring us up to date.
1950s, post-World War II, conformist society across the board. Everybody looked the same, sounded the same.
Mm-hmm. And then you go up certain areas and you say, MF, or how about some iced tea? That
very little dissent, no protest.
Yeah, in the 50s, because everybody just come back from a fucking war and they were shell-shocked.
Right. Elvis Presley goes on the Ed Sullivan Show, sings Hound Dog, blows up the culture.
Oh my God, like a dick. Who is this guy? All he did was sing Hound Dog? And he blows the culture was going just fine. And so I hope someone killed him. He'd fuck up the whole culture like this. Who? What? I gotta go watch that movie again. I don't know that.
A teenager from Mississippi blows up the entire American culture. And
like an asshole. I don't know. I'm just saying this. I'm starting to get the feeling this Elvis fella. I just think he'd be a bad influence on the youth of today.
Ushers in rock and roll rebellion. It's an amazing historical story.
Crazy. And before that, there are no rebels, okay? Everything was fine, okay? They lived over there. We lived over here. And this fucking kid from Mississippi with black friends starts dancing and shit. And then people go, yeah, he's okay. He's really good at this. What's his influences? Oh, his influences are black musicians. Maybe black people aren't terrible. And then all of Bill O'Reilly's whole fucking life falls apart. What a jerk. This Elvis fella.
And then the other thing that these three men have in common is
they're men.
That their celebrity crushed them.
No. Muhammad Ali got Parkinson's, but even up till the end, he would answer fan mail every day.
Right. And led to their demise.
How did it what the fuck are you talking about? He didn't have CTE.
Could not handle their fame and
what the fuck are you talking about? Muhammad Ali they didn't all die on the toilet. One of them did. One of them was shot. Jesus Christ.
Fortune, as most famous people cannot.
And what's the statistics on famous people that fall apart? Elvis, John Lennon, and Muhammad Ali have almost nothing in common in the way they left the earth. As a matter of fact, there are three different standards. One did himself in with substance abuse and bad diet. One was murdered by a crazed fan who was trying to make himself significant in the world. And then he died of natural causes at a younger age than we'd hoped he would, but he died a champion and beloved. What the fuck is he talking about?
Sounds like another great book. Bill
No, it doesn't. It sounds like a shit premise.
O'Reilly, sir, thank you so much for taking the time. We do.
Sounds like you phoned it in.
Appreciate it.
Okay, Rob.
Okay, Rob. Okay, yeah, I'm done. That's all I got. Can't fucking do this anymore. We're doing a fucking pop-up book. I'm doing. What's next? Killing Barney? What is this? Jesus Christ! I wish I'd only paid her $3 million. This is so terrible. I don't even know how to. That was a big load of Schmitt.